is to cover that same topic on the power of vision, and it's part of the series Mindset of an Entrepreneur. So thank you everyone for being here, and feel free to raise your hand if you'd like to ask me a question, join me on the stage and contribute to the conversation as well. So my name is Toyin Umesiri. I teach entrepreneurship, international trade, export development, and trade and investment facilitation. I also host international trade summits and really it's all about advancing economic development, right? Entrepreneurship is the highest expression of human creativity and productivity. And when entrepreneurs create products and services and they're able to sell those services, whether in their local market or international markets, that's really the foundation of how we start to grow, expand economies. So I'm super passionate about the work that I do. And again, I want to thank you for being here with me today. So one of the questions that I try to get answers to when I'm working with a client, or even in the membership program, the Entrepreneurs Academy, where I teach, is trying to capture the vision of the entrepreneur, right? So whatever it is you're working on, whatever it is you're building, how big do you think it's going to get? Where are you trying to drive it to? Like, how can you explain what the future looks like, right? For your business, for your work, for your product, for your services, right? And really, it's not just about precision. It's about stretching, trying to understand the capacity of the entrepreneur, right? Is myself trying to understand, are you trying to build? So I use analogies a lot. So it's this idea of, are you building a 1-story building or a 10-story building or an 100-story building, right? Is before you start building anything, cast a vision. What's the vision that you have for it? How big potentially do you think it's going to get? Now, this is an exercise I feel that we all need to do from time to time. Like when we know more, when we get closer, we see more clearer, and then we can expand the vision. But my point today is to say vision itself is important when you're starting. At the very, very beginning, you need to know why you're starting, where you're heading to, what are you trying to accomplish. And you also need to hold that vision kind of clearly in the center, right? Because what I have seen is that there's no clarity. Many people don't have clarity in terms of what they're building. And when you don't know what you're building or why you're building this, okay, or when there's no alignment, right, between where you say you're going and what you're doing today, okay, is that I sense so more often than not is that people are approaching their work with limited belief because maybe it's limited, right? It's that if you're going to build a 10-story building, don't show up like you're building a 1-story building, okay? And the materials and the resources and the capacity you're going to require to build something that is 10-story building or more is going to be different. So what I see, and which is kind of strange, very, very strange to me, is that people will likely show up like they're building a 1-story building, but then they say things or they project, right, that they're doing much more than they are doing. Meaning there's no alignment between their actions and their words, right? Is that there needs to be alignment. What you see must match what you say. What you're saying needs to match what you believe. What you believe should actually match your actions as an entrepreneur. And when I look at all of those things, I don't see that alignment. Some people would say one thing, do another thing, and it's no wonder, right, that they're not achieving the success or the progress that they desire. Let me also read excerpts from my article this morning. It's also me trying to explain to people. So it's your vision determines your destination. That was the topic. And I said this. I said your vision determines your destination. Your destination will determine the trajectory you want to aim for, right? So if you're shooting something, an arrow, right? If you know your target, then you should aim for your target. You should aim the arrow in the direction of where you say you're going, of the destination. I also put in the article, I said your mission will drive the actions you will take in order to get there. And that's so true. Is that if you're not a man or a woman on a mission in terms of being able to achieve specific things that will help you arrive where you're going, the question is, will you ever get there? Right? So every single day, an entrepreneur should be doing certain specific things that gets them closer, right, to where they say they're going, to the destination, right, to where they're taking their business, to the vision that they have. That's what I would expect. But again, I'm sharing this because I do not see it. At a certain level, I do not see that mobilization behind a mission, right? I also say in the article, I said your provision is what you need for your journey. That's another thing is, even when you dream and you say, okay, I want to achieve this, right? If you want to cook a particular meal, you want to eat a specific, delicacy, it's not just going to happen. You have to break down what are the ingredients that makes up this amazing soup, or right? The same thing is true is the moment you say you're going somewhere with your business, I would expect that you're asking this question to the provision. What do I need on this journey to make this journey and to arrive there? Right? What do I need? Do I need a coach? Do I need to go to school? Do I need to read a book? What do I need to put myself through to prepare? Right? And I also share that procrastination is the one thing that would delay you on the journey. Right? Procrastination is living for tomorrow the decisions that you should be making right now. And the reality is that, you live life in today, not in tomorrow. And most of the time, people leave things till tomorrow and tomorrow never comes, right? That's something very, very dangerous, is that every time, if you find yourself moving to tomorrow, decisions that you can easily make today, it's a very dangerous thing because you're never going to live in tomorrow. Life is actually lived in decisions you make every single day, not tomorrow, right? You never make a decision tomorrow, right? Because you're never living in tomorrow. But many people live not in the moment, so they never really make a decision that will help them get closer. So let me just take a moment. Again, if you'd like to join me on the stage or have any questions for me, just feel free to raise your hand and I'll be happy to invite you up. Thank you, everyone. Dr. Lushol, I see you. Miss Ariella, I see you as well. Denise, Fabian, I see some familiar faces. Thank you so much, everyone being here. Feel free to raise your hand again. John, I see you. Do you want to come up stage? Let's catch up. It's been years since I last saw you. Unfortunately, this app, I am not able to invite you up. You have to indicate interest and then I get to accept. So anyone can feel free to raise their hand. So back to the article is this idea that procrastination, watch out for it. It's really, really something dangerous. It's like it's just a delay. It's a delay. It just delays the journey, right? Is that if you were supposed to arrive, say tonight, but you don't start today, you say you're going to start tomorrow, you've extended your arrival, right? And what I've seen is that opportunity comes in a moment. And a lot of people that procrastinate, they don't seize opportunity because they don't know how to seize the moment. Their moment is always tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes, right? Is that when opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare. And when you've prayed, as example for those who are Christian, you've prayed, right? You need to be watching for the answer. And the answer is not tomorrow. The answer is always going to meet you in today, right? The answer is not tomorrow. The answer is always today, because even when you enter tomorrow, tomorrow becomes today. So answers meet people that know how to seize moments. Moments of opportunities come in being present, being conscious. And for entrepreneurs, this is so important, is because the next person you're going to meet may release new opportunities. But when you don't show up to events, you don't show up to opportunities, you say tomorrow. Opportunities are passing by every day. Every single day, people are missing opportunities, and yet they say, "Oh, this is why it's right." It's because they may not realize that procrastination is the enemy, right? And what I'm just saying, it may not be too serious for some. You may be a random procrastinator, but then you could be a serious one. So, the effects that it will have in delaying people actually getting to where they want to get to, right? It's just dependent on their own mindset. Because if you're supposed to catch a plane, right? The plane is going to take off with or without you. Life is happening every single day, with or without you, right? Life is happening. Opportunities are being spread every single day, with or without you. Whether you're there or you're not there, life is moving on. People are seizing opportunities, are moving on. The question is, when are you going to make it your time? Hey, John, thank you for being here. How are you?
I am doing well. It's so good to hear your voice again.
It's been tell people how you and I know each other.
We met through Walmart. I used to work at Walmart, and I forget where. It might have been an event at Walmart that we both met each other, or maybe I reached out to you one day, and we had several talks since. I think you've been really, really inspiring and offered a lot of wisdoms throughout my career, so I really appreciate that.
Yes, and then you left. I think I left. I left, and then you left. How has that journey been?
Right. Oh man, this is really awesome.
How has it been for you?
Things have been good. Things have been really good. I recently, since Walmart, moved to JB Hunt, and then left there. I'm in New York City right now. I've got my master's in video game design, and I've helped release a few games already.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Now I'm doing software development at a logistics company in New Jersey.
Oh, I remember all the talks around gamification, right?
Yep.
So you're living it. Good for you.
Yep. So
I think
topic is definitely helpful for me right now.
Awesome. Yes, I also think I remember you also have this entrepreneurship bug about you. Have you been doing much about that too?
Yeah, I think mostly when it comes to in the realm of video games, I've not only have I built games, but I've helped just push my product through several events. I've got to do some talks during my master's during my year when I was doing my master's in Florida. I got to do several talks where I was promoting my game, just getting it out there. We were able to get a lot of interest in our game, and it's been a learning experience, and I'm still working towards that passion of just working on games and promoting them, getting out there and getting interest so that our games can be seen by other people and picked up.
Oh, so I'm hearing you right now and I'm smiling because I feel like you've pushed yourself out of your comfort zone, because I've heard you say promote. At least 3 times you said promote.
Yeah.
So what have you learned from going from being the person coding and building the games, which is your passion, right? You have a background in technology and programming, right? What was that transition like, being that person in that comfortable space, building the games, to now being the face and going out there to publicly promote and speak about what you've built? What was that transition like for you?
Yeah, I like that you brought that up, because being in software development, you're the environment is like you're to your computer. You don't have to talk to anybody. You just do the job and then get paid. But but as a leader, as someone that's developed a product, that's promoted products, that's you really have to own what you do. And it's not, like you said, like you have to have a vision first, and you can't just, expect that things are going to work out. You have to have a plan. You have to have things written down. You have to have feedback from other people. You have to strategize quite a bit and be proactive about what you do. And it's not like my process was perfect. I didn't just magically come up with the best game idea ever and it got millions of views. But, I had to make decisions, like you said, every single day, saying, okay, what am I going to do today to get closer to the game? Do I have to develop today? Do I have to look for opportunities to market my game today? Do I have to showcase my game today, get feedback? What am I going to do with the feedback I've already gotten? Things like that. It's quite an adventure, and if you are intentional about it, it can be a really fun process, but you have to be on top of it, and it's very involved, and you just have to know what you're doing and know what you want to do and be intentional about it.
Right. I love that. And the other thing I would say people need to think through is practice this idea of practicing the skill of sales, persuasion, marketing, branding, telling your story. Most people that are leaving corporate or considering leaving corporate to become an entrepreneur, you have to realize you're not practiced at it. Okay. And I usually, did you want to say something on that before I go on?
Go on. Go ahead.
Okay. So, because I want this to be a conversation, right? So, what I use this analogy that if you're in corporate, right, you're like the domesticated lion in a zoo, right? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you don't have to go out there and catch it yourself. But the moment you become an entrepreneur, and this is part of Mindset of an Entrepreneur, my book, and then the programs I teach at the Entrepreneurs Academy. You can learn more at my website, toyinumesiri.com. That's www.toyin, my first name, last name, umesiri.com. So basically, at the Entrepreneurs Academy, I always say that if you're leaving corporate to become an entrepreneur, you have to understand that your full-time job is actually sales, persuasion, storytelling, marketing. Like every single day, that's your full-time job, right? And in corporate, you just remember what it takes to get a job. You have to prepare your resume, you have to pitch, you have to do all of that. That is what you have to get comfortable doing every single day. No matter how uncomfortable that used to be in corporate, your performance process, your performance review, all the nervousness of all of that. My point is, as an entrepreneur, it's your full-time job. So what then do you do? I tell people it's a skill that you then need to develop, because if you're the lion in the zoo and now you're the lion in the wild, you're leaving corporate or you're considering leaving to become an entrepreneur. I try to help people prepare, right? You have to prepare, because when you go out there into the wild west of entrepreneurship, if you don't have the skills, you cannot get your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Pretty much that's how it is, right? That skill is your survival tool. It's like you can't win as an entrepreneur without knowing how to tell your story, without knowing how to deliver your message to the world, without knowing how to persuade others to buy into your story or buy into the story of your product or your services, without knowing how to deliver your solution, without knowing how to build trusts, on and on and on. And these are skills. So when people start, this is what I see. They start, they get nervous, or maybe they never start. That's another thing. Maybe people, they dip their toe and then they run back and go, oh, wow, this is not for me. And that may be true. Maybe entrepreneurship is not for you. But if you know that you want to become an entrepreneur, my point is, as a trainer, is that be ready to train, right? For you to become a doctor, an engineer, you invested 4 years, 5 years, 6 years into a profession, right? It's only in entrepreneurship that people sleep. You can sleep tonight and wake up tomorrow and claim to be an entrepreneur, right? It's like, okay, let's see. The market humbles everybody eventually, right? And then by year 2, people are going, oh, I didn't know it was this tough. Well, it's not that it's tough. It's because you're lacking skill. It's your life, right? That's one of the things I try to break down. It's about strategies, it's about mindset, it's about skill set. And if you're missing specific skills, it will be painful. I also talk about the chaos of not knowing what you're doing wrong and what you should be doing right. Chaos is a mess. But if you know what you're doing, it's like gaming, right? If you know what you're doing, you'll be winning in the game. But if you don't know what you're doing, you'll be losing. Entrepreneurship is the same. Now, I have to also say that there's maybe 20 to 15% of entrepreneurship that you're going to need to learn on the job. But the bulk of entrepreneurship, we call it the entrepreneurship fundamentals. I teach at business schools that I also created mine, right? Is that you can learn how to be a successful entrepreneur. And then learning how to learn is a skill. Because when market conditions changes, if you don't know how to, if you haven't learned how to learn, you will go through chaos again. So let me get, what do you think about what I just shared, John?
That was really good. There's a couple things that stuck out to me. What you said about that I'm going to paraphrase it, but you said something about how, the opportunity might seem difficult, but it's not that it's the opportunity that's difficult, but it's just that I'm not skilled. I am learning that more now than ever, because sometimes when I'm pursuing a dream or a goal, let's say I want to get a new job, job interviews seem intimidating, especially for a programmer, because you have these programming tests that seem almost impossible to take on. But if you flip the script to realize that you just need some skills to pass that test, then it becomes a matter of, okay, what skills do I need? And those skills are achievable. You just have to work on them. And so you take whatever time you need to practice those skills. In the realm of entrepreneurship, like you said, there's marketing, there's being able to promote, being able to know your story and share your story to an audience. Those skills are things that you can achieve. It's not impossible to get those skills. And I think that's something that's I've been realizing lately as someone that's been that tends to get intimidated by how daunting it is how daunting the endeavor I want to take on is. But just realizing that, wow, I can actually, there's YouTube videos, there's courses, there's sometimes you learn, like you said, learn by experience or learn on the job of it. But these skills are achievable, and once you get those skills, it builds your confidence, it builds your knowledge. You're able to better navigate these environments towards your endeavor, and you get a lot closer to it. And it's reward. It's a nice way to think about chasing after your goals. I think about. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. And I wanted to add to, the list of what then happens. One of the most important one is stress goes down.
Yes.
Like my job, right? When I teach and the school, the programs, the roadmap, the journey maps, what I've seen, and, my students, my clients, they come in with, I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing wrong? What should I be doing? I've tried so many things, right? There's a lot of that in entrepreneurship. And what I've done is to create a curriculum and a step-by-step program, including a success personal development program that talks about networking and communication skills, like what people would consider the softer skills. So it includes softer skills, technical skills, mindsets, coaching, really strategies like content strategy, marketing strategy, how to build your brand, on and on, right? So it's the 360 approach to business development. And when people go through that program, stress goes significantly down, right? Because it's like you want to fish, right? You go to the stream, and if you don't know how to fish, you will be so stressed. You'll be looking at the fish will be looking at you. But a master fisherman will go there with the right tools, will spend less time, take the fish and go home and eat lunch break, whatever they want to eat, dinner. Because they're skilled at it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the other things, and then I'll let you also continue, because I like the you being able to personalize and share your own story, is that what I've also seen in entrepreneurship, and people need to be aware of this. Most of the businesses that you've seen that thrive, they are not the first attempt they're not the first founders' attempt at entrepreneurship. It's usually the second, third attempt that they actually build brands that we all know about, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn or any of these major applications. And here's what I say in my book. The first two attempts were their lessons. Their first attempts were the lessons, all the lessons they didn't learn in school. They used the first two attempts. They won't, like hindsight is it 2020 they call it, right? Now you look back and say, oh wow, everything I've been doing, I was just training for this very moment. And that's how it is. Is that by the time you've acquired that skill, your third, fourth attempt, you're like, game on.
Yeah.
Right? It takes that long. That's one of the things I try to tell people. It actually does take that long for you to develop that skill, but you can arrive there sooner with a coach, with an expert coach. Not every coach is the same. Please do your due diligence. Don't go to people, right? Make sure you check what they're doing. If they're not doing what it is you want to do, right, don't go there, because they can only teach you what they know, right? That's the end. At the end of the day, they can only teach you what it is that they know. Okay. So, but you can arrive sooner. And this is what I also practice, right? You can arrive sooner by sitting at the feet of people that have gone ahead of you and learning from them. Because if you don't learn from them, you would learn by yourself. Right? You will still have to learn by yourself, because all of the results that you desired, all of the results we desire is only achievable when you have all the skills to fish, right? You may stumble on one fish or two, but to build consistent results, right? For you to know that every time you go to the fish, you're not coming back empty-handed, it requires mastery, right? And there are levels. So marketing, sales, there are stages of growth on becoming a master. Someone that went to school for marketing, spent 4 years and have 10 years of experience on the job, comparing the results they can achieve to somebody that is barely 6 months into entrepreneurship journey, right? It's going to be different. That's why I say hurry up and learn. Learn fast so that you don't have to fail fast. The reason they say fail fast, right? The reason they say fail fast is because they know you're going to fail at what you don't know. But if you study and you learn, you've just reduced your chances of failure. You reduce your failure rate by learning. Go on, John.
That was really good.
You can tell I mean, this is what I do. I've spent significant time thinking through this, teaching through it, and understanding people's journey, the entrepreneurship journey. I designed the roadmap for entrepreneurs as well, to say, if you want to build a business, there's a faster way to achieve it. But I think a lot of times people just prefer the longer route, and that's okay for them, at least. Yeah.
No, I think that's really good. One of the methodologies I've come up with is that there's a simple way to think about everything. And the reason why I think that is because, a master of something, usually when I hear a master of a particular trade talk about something, they found a simple way to think about it. Like, oh, it's fishing isn't complicated. All you have to do is X, Y, and Z. Oh, programming isn't complicated. All you have to do is X, Y, and Z. But at the forefront, when you don't know and you don't have that guidance, I tend to overthink things. I tend to blow things up bigger than what they actually are, when in reality, they're like, it's just a combination of simple concepts. And that's why I think, like you said, a mentor is really helpful. And I appreciate that you also said not just to just jump to any mentor or any master, but to do your due diligence to find one that works for you. I think that's also really important. You know, sometimes it can be personality clashes that could make things harder to learn from a master. Sometimes it can be the way they present things or the way they teach. So it takes it just takes your due diligence to find that right person. But yeah, just learning from people that have figured it out already can save you so much time, and it's so much easier than working alone. And you'll find that, you know, some of the things that you thought would take years or months can actually take much shorter time if you have somebody that's gone there already guiding you.
Yeah. Okay. One thing to watch out for. There are two classes of people that make things sound easy. Okay? In my experience. And David, I see you. Feel free to come up stage as well. And Dr. Olushola, feel free to join the conversation. There are two classes of people that make things sound easy. Okay? The class A, are people without experience. They talk in theoretical terms. They are all over the place. Oh, yes, I'll just create a website. Oh, yes, I'll create a game and then I'll launch this and launch that and launch this. Oh, my goodness. I see a lot of that, particularly in places like Clubhouse. Like, everybody knows everything in their world. They make it sound. But here is this. I know I can bust their bubble, because when you've never done anything, it is easy. Right? If you've never attempted entrepreneurship is easy. That's why people why people rushing. That's why they talk about fools rushing where angels, don't even are afraid to go. Is that lack of wisdom leads to foolishness, because it's everything you're attempting it with false information that it is easy. And because of that, the statistics of the failure rate is high, because people don't prepare. When you think something is easy, people don't prepare, and when they don't prepare, they fail faster. Okay? So that's one class A. Class B, which is the ones that have actually earned to the right to say it is easy, and those are the people that are masters.
Right.
But even the masters, what happens is they enter a flow. They are not the ones that will say it's easy. It's actually people watching them. They make it look easy. They make it effortless. So people observing them are the ones that would say, oh, that looks easy. So let me give an example in practical ways so that people understand. Let's use swimming. If you're observing anybody swimming, if they know how to swim, they will make it look easy. When you're watching somebody that does not know how to swim, they will make swimming difficult. You'll be like, oh, the person doesn't know how to swim, because they are right all over the place. Right. And someone that has never learned how to swim will also say swimming is easy. Right? Right. If you've never tried it, you say it's easy because it looks easy. Right? But only the masters know what it took them to achieve mastery. Okay? So those are the two classes of people that I've seen. Those that haven't attempted entrepreneurship, they speak louder. They speak with so much audacity. They scare me. Absolutely. They are scary, because I know they've not done it. That's why they're saying it's easy. Because the moment you attempt launching a product, launching a service, building a business, building a brand, you will be humbled. The process is designed to humble everyone, because it's not about you, it's about the market. Hey, Fabian, thanks for joining us. How are you today?
I'm good, feeling humbled.
Same.
Oh my goodness.
I'd like to ask, using the swimming analogy.
Do you want to increase your volume, please?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, go on.
Using the swimming analogy,
Mm-hmm.
how do you stop panicking?
How do you stop panicking? You start studying.
Right.
Right? Like I usually say, my biggest advice to people is I say go slow before you go fast.
Okay.
Go slow before you go fast. And go slow means figure out your strategy, figure out your plan, gather everything you need, right? The skills, resources, everything you need, and then go fast. It's the difference between strategy and execution. Many people are executing without a strategy, without skill, without, right? So generally speaking, in business terms, and I served as a strategist at Fortune One, where myself and John had worked. You don't go out there spending energy, resources, and time for without a reason. Without, it doesn't make sense in business that you are out in the world spending unless you're doing deep market research. What we go out into the world to do is we do deep market research, we study the market, we do surveys, we understand the market. Based on that understanding, we bring it back to the drawing board, we design a strategy, and then we execute the strategy. But out here in the world of small business startups, it's so erratic, right? People are attempting things and they don't even know why they are doing what they're doing. So going slow is study the market, right? So in fact, the life of an entrepreneur is you are a full-time student, because life is teaching you something every day. Right? Life is you are learning if you're a full-time learner as an entrepreneur, because inexperienced entrepreneurs, they are moving around with lots of assumptions. Experienced entrepreneurs assume nothing. They will attempt, but they are more cautious. Right? John, go on, John.
Sorry, I think my audio went out for a little bit. I didn't hear the last.
Oh, okay. What I was trying to say is that experienced entrepreneurs. Let me go ahead and mute. It's echoing. Okay, thank you. So experienced entrepreneurs that I've seen, they are more cautious when they move. They don't move as if they know everything. It's like wisdom in business, wisdom in life in general is approaching life as a student of life, because that's the only way to win. Like even in the technical side of business development and doing deep research, consumer research, right? We're always asking questions. Your job as an entrepreneur is to know what questions to be asking, because when you ask the right questions, you're going to get the right answer. But when you're not asking any question, you're telling the world that you already have all the answers within you. And I'm saying, whatever it is you think you know, there's always a better way. And that better way is not within you. It could be outside of you. It could be residents out there in the world. Our job as entrepreneurs is to go get the answers and bring them forward. So go slow to go fast. Did that help?
That was helpful.
Okay. Venkatesh, thank you for being here. I think this is your first time. Go ahead and introduce yourself and ask your question as well. Or if this is your first time of using LinkedIn audio, you would probably need to unmute. And if the system is glitchy on you, you may need to go down and then come back up. We've seen that happen a few times on the app. Okay. Venkatesh, are you able to unmute and contribute to the conversation? Okay, if not, we'll give it another try. So go back down or leave and then come back, okay? So yes, so as I was saying, right, mastering entrepreneurship is important. The results that we desire comes with comes out of experience, and this is true even in corporate, right? Is that you go to school, you learn the theory of this, but companies want people with experience for specific reasons, right? Because experience does matter. Experience says you've tried different attempts and you know which one works. Right? Because until you try different attempts, you don't know which one works. And for me, what I've done at the Entrepreneurs Academy is to really put together programs and workbooks and my ebook and courses, over 20 courses, to help people start with what we know works already. We know branding works. We know storytelling is important. We know marketing is you carrying your message to the world. Effective ways of delivering that message. We know what that is. Okay? We know that sales is a fundamental, right? There's no need reinventing the wheel. You can study these things. And what I've done at the Academy is really put together programs that will help you develop those skills faster. It's so simple in my mind, again. But again, you can do it that way or learn on the job. But either way, the results are waiting for you, because beyond your it's like graduation. You do all the exams, then you graduate, and then you get your master's or PhD, right? Is that the PhD and the master is always waiting for you, but you have to go through that process. That's what I see in entrepreneurship as well. Is unfortunately people give up on that journey, because I would not say it's easy, but I would say it's achievable if you put all your heart within it and you apply yourself in the right directions that will lead you to your destination. And Venkatesh, do you want to try this again? Welcome back. Yes, now it works. Go on. Go ahead. I can hear you. Unmute and then go ahead. Okay. So anyway, it's this idea that if you were in school, right, we go through the process, we learn our lessons, and then we graduate. And when we graduate, we get the job. We can now contribute to the society because we're bringing skills that we've acquired through that process. For me, it's one of those things I try to help people understand, particularly if you're new to entrepreneurship, is go slow to go fast. Study, learn fast so you don't fail fast. And I have also seen that we have to be patient, but it also requires wisdom, right? Because sometimes people tell me, oh, I'll be right back. Let me figure ABC out. And it's one of the reasons in the article I talked about procrastination, is that many times people tell me they know, and maybe this is a question to people, right? Why do we do this? Many times people say, I know I need this. Okay, but I'm not ready right now. That's a conversation, and I do understand it, because it's like, I know I'm going to Harvard, but I'm not ready to enroll in Harvard because the requirements, Harvard also has its own requirements of full focus, right? And maybe people are not ready to provide that full focus. I don't know. I'm just saying what I've seen out there is that procrastination is when the answers you're looking for are presented to you and you then decide that you're not ready for the answers. Right? It's about seizing the moment, because people then assume, most people that procrastinate assume that the answer is going to be there tomorrow, that the answer is going to come back tomorrow, that it's going to come around tomorrow, that next year the answer will be there. Well, Harvard has its own process. But anyway, I'm just saying things that I see, and I'm using stories and analogies just to seek to understand the mindset, because this is what I also train entrepreneurs on, to seek to understand the mindset of their clients and their customers, right? Is what journey are they on? What are the challenges they're facing? What are their pain points? What are their aspirations? Because the products and the services you're going to offer to them is supposed to help them get closer to what it is they say they want to achieve. But here's the thing, we also then have to ask this question. If the answers are being presented to them, if what they need for that journey is being presented to them every single day, and they are choosing not to invest in those answers, then the question we then beg to say, okay, let's seek to understand that. Why is that the situation? Is that people say, I want to arrive on the other side, I want to achieve success, and then there's a bridge that will help them arrive there, and they're saying, you know what, I'm not ready to go crossover. That's another phenomenon that I see. Any reactions to that, John?
Yeah, as a professional procrastinator.
You are?
No, I say that because I know, yeah, I've procrastinated. I know it's like, I think even this call just kind of gives me inspiration to reassess what I want to go after and go after it. I think for me, what you said kind of resonates, and it made me think about how when I'm presented with an opportunity to, like you said, either get the answers or I guess make progress towards that goal, I shy away because,
no, okay, hold on, I'm going to take care of this. Go on, John.
Okay. So yeah, when I get an opportunity to work towards what I want to do, I'll shy away because either, like you said, I feel like I'm not ready, or for me, a lot of the time it can be fatigue. And one thing I've learned is that I realize that there's times where I don't properly prepare myself to do what I need to do, meaning that in my day-to-day, for example, let's say I'm working 9 to 5 and then I have 5 more free hours where I could be working towards my goals. When I'm like, after I'm done with my work and I get to do what I need to do, I might tend to procrastinate because I feel tired. And I've learned I need to manage my both the times that I need to work and the times I need to rest, and make sure that I'm balancing myself in a manner where when I get to that 5-hour block, I know and I feel energized to do it. So it could even just be a matter of getting proper sleep. For me, sometimes I like to, throughout the day, just inspire myself and remind myself, like, hey, this thing is coming up. I have 5 hours after work. I know I can do at least 2 hours of game development. Like I'll kind of hype myself up and inspire myself to do it because I know that that's what I want, and it fuels me and it feeds me and reminds me that of that end goal that I want to achieve. So just, I guess, in practical ways, just finding ways to prepare myself. Sometimes it can be the environment I'm in. Like I tend, when I'm working on something, I like to do it outside of my house just because I'm too close to my bed and in my house. I'm too close to my TV, too close to my laptop to be productive. So I like to make sure I'm setting up my environment to be conducive towards the goals I want to achieve and the day by day habits that I need to set. So
John,
it's a better strategy.
John, thank you for sharing. Okay, this is gonna be funny. You need to learn how to reward yourself, and you need to.
That is good too.
Yeah, and you will understand this. You need to gamify your own life.
Yeah.
Okay. Meaning the same principles of the games that you're building.
Mm-hmm.
You need to apply those principles on yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Levels. You have levels, level 1, level 2. The task gets tougher, right? As you go from level 1 to level 2 to level 3. That's true as well. But here's the thing, you also get to reward the player each step they go on. Right? And you don't look back. And also you need to learn how to rest. Meaning that even in gaming, right, you may try it today and you may fail. But if you come back tomorrow and next tomorrow and the third day, you're going to master. The human mind is structured to learn and improve through repetition. But if somebody plays a game once and then gives up on that game, what are you going to tell that person?
Mm.
If the person tries and say, no, this is not working, it's right, what would you tell them?
You're asking?
Right? Like if somebody tries a game and didn't win it the first time and gives up on the game.
Okay. Like you want to encourage them. You want to say, okay, try again. I don't know, try.
Motivation. You're going to motivate them.
Yeah.
Right? Because motivation, in the article I wrote today, I said motivation will help you stay on track so that you do not give up before you get there.
Right. That's really good. Yeah, it reminds me of a time I had a reward system when I was in school where if I did something, I would write it. I would keep track of things I did, and when I reached a certain threshold, I would I would get myself something or treat myself. But like I think that's really good too. Just even just minute rewards or large rewards throughout the process is really helpful too.
Yes, we need that as humans. Yeah. We need to keep track, because here's the thing: if we don't keep track, we may turn out to be too hard on ourselves, right? Like John, you have come this far because you believed in yourself and you pursued and you achieved. So you have to know that you have the skills and the ability to go after what you want. You do. The important thing now is to figure out how to grow your desire and your capacity. Those are the two things. Is that once you've achieved a certain level of success, if you get satisfied, you're going to stay there.
Yeah.
So in a way, you have to, like, if you become the king of level 5 and there is still level 10, 15, 20, you become chairman of level 5. Right? And that happens for so many people. They get the job, they become a manager, and they're like, I'm the chairman of level 5 managers. Not realizing there's VP, EVP, CEO, board level, that success has levels. Right? But for each level, you have to have a certain level of capacity, and you have to keep coming at it. Your first attempt may not be, but you can discipline yourself to keep going, and then you get rewarded, and then right? But so these are programs that I actually designed to at the Entrepreneur Academy, right? There's a program called the Game Plan, 12 Strategies for Winning. Number 1 is like activating clarity. Like, do you see clearly where you're going, right? And that program is available toyinumesiri.academy as well. So this is just, I would say, knowing you, I would say apply gamification principles and give yourself permission to really push hard, because there's always the next level ahead of you. Make sense?
This is really good. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. That's good. So I'll be wrapping up today. I have so much work to do. I just got back from a business trip, and I'm just, in a way, and this is something I was about to tell you to do. I'm doing what I was going to advise you to do as well, is that when you have a pile of work, right, that in a way could be overwhelming. Okay? Don't go doing the tough work. Give yourself a little bit of motivation. Do something that you love doing, which is why I'm doing this right now. Like, I did not have to host this room. I just wanted to get myself in the space of having fun, of smiling, of laughing, of enjoying myself. I wanted that before I then unleash myself on this assignment.
That's it. So you get a little more momentum going.
Exactly. So that's why. So I just gamified myself. Even though I have so much I need to get done, I do enjoy, just hosting a space for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, having a conversation with someone else, sharing, learning, also promoting the academy, promoting my book. I will do that anytime. Like, I can do it all day, any day, but I don't, obviously, it's conflicting with so many other things. right? So I do show up. That's one of the reasons people say, "Oh, you're consistent." I'm consistent because I want to be consistent, but there are times when I don't want to be consistent, really. That's why so many times people say, "Oh, when are you coming?" I say, "I don't know. When I feel like it, I will show up. When I don't feel like it, I would not show up." Right? But I do enjoy really the side of the work. But then after this shuts down, I get back to real work. Then I have so many pages of some things, like I'm doing some assignments and creating a curriculum program for UN, and it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's good stuff. They are all good stuff. But that's what I was going to share with you, that even when you feel overwhelmed, right? Reward yourself with an activity that will boost you, right? That will boost you, and then you can come at your assignments and your work with from a place of high, right? Like right. So it's what I just did right now. So when I close out, I'm leaving the space more inspired, not less. I'm leaving the space more motivated, right? Because I've shared my motivation. You've also explained and shared your own side, and these types of experiences gives me personally a boost. It's a booster for me. That's why I do it. That's why I host international summits and all of it. It's a lot of hard work. But once you step into those spaces like my academy or my school, it gives you a certain type of energy, clarity, motivation, inspiration, that kind of keeps you going. It's also one of the reasons I tell entrepreneurs to invest in communities that will do those things for them. Because when you're by yourself, this journey anyway is tough. Okay? The journey of entrepreneurship, and it becomes tougher. You're making it tougher on yourself because you are going at it alone. On that journey, you're going to need inspiration, strategies, mindset checks. You're going to need so much help. But people that think they can do it by themselves, they're unknowingly, they're making their own life tougher and more stressful. So that's one of the reasons I tell people, like the academy, the community, and the school, it's a space where you meet other entrepreneurs, you exchange ideas, you're learning strategies, you're practicing, you're asking other people for feedback. And I belong to a lot of communities like that as well. And that's one of the reasons I advise people. I've created one, join ours, right? And because, even in games, make your own life easier. That's our job, right? Don't complicate things. It's complex enough. Right? Between everything we have to do, family, this, like it's complex enough. What you're supposed to be doing is looking for solutions that will make your journey easier, not tougher, right? But that's what I try to do, and it comes from mentors, those that would share. I mean, I spent this week with some of the most successful people in the world. Like, it was just an incredible experience, and listening to them, it gave me fresh perspective, because the level of exposure that you also have is going to determine the vision, right? The vision that you have for yourself. And that vision is going to determine the actions you're taking every single day. And unfortunately, when if you're building a 12-story building or 100-story building, please don't show up with a shovel. You need a bulldozer, right? Is that a lot of times I'm seeing people show up in very small ways to their big dreams and their big aspirations. Please show up big. Let the world know that you're going for gold. On that note, that's my own wrap-up message. John, anything else you want to share before I close this out? Thank you for being here.
Oh no, it was a pleasure. It was good catching up with you. I really like the bowls analogy as well. This is really good and even humbling, and I learned a lot from it. And I think it's just reinvigorated me to reassess where I'm at and pursue my own goals. So
there's enough energy. I know I pack enough. I pack enough energy for my journey, and I can fuel people's dreams as well. That's for sure. One of my gifts is being a motivational speaker, and all the things that I do is I first have to pack enough for myself to propel myself. Like, if you're going to the moon, You need some jet fuels. You don't need regular fuel. And then out of that, you can distribute a few. And then if people want more, definitely they know where to find me. ToyinMercury.com and then ToyinMercury.academy. Do check it out, and I invite you to join us and learn, strategies, develop mindset, develop your skills to help you achieve success in your business and life. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.